Hey guys, welcome to the Next Level Mortgaging Podcast. I'm your host, Todd Martin from Mission 35 Mortgages. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We have a guest with us. This is Renata St Clair. She's also with Mission 35 Mortgages. Renata has been my accountability partner for a little over a year with Mission 35. We actually connected, I'm pretty sure it was my very first week with the agency. We did phone call accountabilities our very first week. And I'm pretty sure Renata is the only person that I have called every single day and texted every single day that we have done our accountability deal, weekly accountability things. And ever since then, we have almost weekly had, sit down, we've done training together, we've done, helped each other with marketing, with advertising, with, because each one of us have our own special parts of the business that we're good on. We have our own strengths and stuff, and we try to help each other along the way. And it has been a fantastic deal from day one.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Absolutely. I feel like it was just instant. We just automatically kind of got along, and it was sort of a no-brainer. And I'm like super grateful. You've helped me through like a lot of tough stuff. Even just bouncing ideas around or like having a bad day. Always a text or call away, even if it's later in the evening, sometimes last night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's really, really helped me personally with my business, but also on the personal side as well.
Agreed. Having that person in the business, whether it be another mortgage agent or a real estate agent you're close with, or somebody that understands the business, it comes in really handy. Somebody that you can just bounce those ideas off with, sit down and rant with from time to time, or just sit down and have a laugh, because you need those times. You need that break from the industry, or break in the industry even, just, and, we did our private mortgaging course together and held each other accountable for that. And, that really strengthened us, because we did it every week for 8 weeks straight, I think.
Yeah, in person,
in the office, on the video. And it really strengthened the idea of, if you just sit down together and you talk together and you work things out together, you can really find different ideas and different ways to tackle different things. So you guys have heard my journey and my experiences, my first year in the business, and how I came through things on the other end. And I want to go through that a little bit with Renata. She's been in the business about 6 months longer than I have. So she has a little bit more experience, and she comes from a different background than I do. Renata has a marketing background, where I have a construction background. A little bit different, just a little different. So so I wanted to go along there and go along those lines. And so you started, like I said, you started 6 months before me. Really not that much of a difference timeline in the way the market was. You came in pretty much right when the market started to go, oh, we're going down.
Yep.
Right. So what kind of challenges and stuff did you find coming into the market at that point in time?
I think for me, when I first started, I was focusing so much on education and sort of like gathering all the knowledge and things that I sort of already didn't, know. I came from a marketing background, as Todd mentioned. So, business savvy was there, things like that, transferable skills. But in terms of mortgages, I have to admit it was a learning curve. So yeah, I would say the first 4 to 6 months, it was really all about learning, setting myself up, setting the business up. And it kind of aligned that the market was doing what it was doing, and it allowed me to really sort of get prepared before I like really dove into growing the business and getting those leads and those clients, marketing plans, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I've said to a lot of people since I started this business that I'm happy I came in when I did.
Mm.
If I come in 16 months earlier, you come in a year earlier, the business is very different. People are almost being handed deals, right? They're falling in people's laps. Every house out there is getting 12 offers on it, right? Real estate agents can't keep up. Mortgage agents can't keep up. There's nobody offering, condition financing, right? You have no choice but just keep writing deal after deal after deal. Right. And not saying everybody was making money hand over fist, but it was just a lot simpler in finding the work. But since I came in anyway, you've had to learn how to do the work. You've had to learn how to find people. You've had to learn how to accumulate relationships and, develop those products with people, as opposed to just saying, hey, how's it going? What deals do you have for me today?
Yeah.
Right. And how have you developed that? How have you made those work for you over the last 12 months?
Yeah, for me, I think coming from corporate, like I said, I was, account side, so the clients were just sort of there. So that was the hurdle, was getting sort of my own clients, getting my name out there. I think, I did all the right things, family, friends, social media. I think my biggest regret starting was not pushing myself to do door knocking sooner, number one. And number two, building a little bit of a stronger contact of realtors and accountants, financial planners, other referral partners. Could be anything. Like one of my referral partners is my dog groomer. We've just become friends over the years. She's been grooming my dog Bowser for, oh my gosh, over 9 years. And she's just lovely. And it's just that's sort of how it happens, right? So now after like all this time that I've actually invested into building these relationships, yes, it's been almost 2 years, but the fruits of my labor are coming to fruition. And I'm seeing more organic traffic come in, organic leads coming in from these great relationships that I've built from scratch or just built upon even more and already had a relationship and now are capitalizing on it in a business sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So your ability to develop those relationships over time and grow them naturally, right? Your marketing background is fantastic for that because your ability to work with people and talk to them and sell yourself naturally without putting the pressure on people, I think is amazing. My biggest weakness is my ability to I don't do phone calls. I'm terrible at phone calls. Any of my realtors that watch this, don't worry. You're never going to get the phone call from me pestering you. The phone call you get from me is going to be, hey guys, we got the deal done. Right? That's my pestering you is going to be, you want to visit to an open house? Yeah, sure, I'm in. Come on. My superpower is open houses. I love doing open houses. I'll come visit you. I'll come visit you at your open house, stay with you for the 2 hours. I will give you all the information that your clients want, need. You know, I will open the doors for them when when you're upstairs with them and stuff like that. But everybody has their own niche in this industry, right? And it takes time to find that and build that, right? And to develop your own center in this business, right? Especially in this industry. And as you find it, you said you found, I know we've talked over the last couple of weeks, and almost every time I've talked to you, you said, I just got off a lead, or I just finished a value call, or I've just finished an application. And you know me, I'm your biggest cheerleader. And and has it grown from that, from your ability to develop your own way of doing things?
Like more leads have come in because
Yeah,
of that? Yeah.
right, as opposed to
Yeah.
just pushing the way everybody else does it.
Yeah, I have to say, we all do the call. Some of us do the call, some of us don't. I did the calls, all that kind of stuff. And, it was good. It did definitely help me. But for me personally, now I'm finding that I'm a relationship person. So for me to grow my business, I need to capitalize on that strength. And that's what I've been doing. And specifically, success has been coming from places like my kids' school, my direct community in Burlington that I live in, which is really awesome. Social media community as well, which has been really cool. And again, fostering those relationships. I'm a genuine person. I really do want to genuinely help people. And I think that's what I was missing sort of like in the corporate life. So now that I can do that actively in my community with people that I really care about, and still, help anybody that wants help outside of that community is really special and important to me.
That's awesome. So changing gears a little bit, I know you and I both obviously joined Mission 35 Mortgages. One of the things that sold me on Mission 35 was the training,
Oh yeah.
right? The training, the coaching is phenomenal, second to none. I came in older, in my 40s, I knew coming in that, anybody that stays in the business long enough, you're going to reach the VIPs, you're going to reach the commission levels if you stay in the business long enough and you put the time in. Coachability and culture meant so much more to me than anything else, because if the vibe isn't there and the feeling and the culture isn't there, right, you're not going to want to put in the time. You're not going to want to put in the effort and the same feeling, right? And when I talked to Brian and I talked to Teresa at the very beginning of this journey,
Yeah,
right, it was such a different conversation than like I was recruited by 10 different companies, right? And the conversation, there was one other company, I can't remember who it was. It was a company up in Kitchener that was similar, but the conversation I had with Brian was just so different
yeah, absolutely.
than every conversation I had since. Talk to me a little bit about your recruitment journey and what it was like when you were brought in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been friends with Teresa Franciosa. Everyone loves Teresa. She's the best. And I was on maternity leave actually after my about 10 years in marketing. And we were just walking down the beach and she's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I want to help people. And like I was missing that, like I previously said from my previous career, and I was still helping people. We were still mostly helping companies, but now it's more direct. Anyways, I digress. And she was like, "Oh, you should just try it, And I thought, I don't know. And I know that she loves what she does. She's like one of the most passionate people I've ever met, ever in this world.
Right.
And I love that about her. And obviously, she's a great person. We've been friends for a while, so I trust her. So I thought, okay, so I'm going to meet Brian, see what it's like.
A whole nother ball of wax.
Yeah. So sure enough, the grass is greener on the other side. And as soon as I met him, you can just feel his sense of genuineness. And, again, he really truly wants to help people. And the fact that he's built this amazing company on that mandate and that sort of frame of mind. And it really does come from the top down. And then I went to First Mortgage U, which is our monthly mortgage meeting that Brian so generously hosts every month. We do training, collaborate, whatnot. Anyways, I went there before officially registering, and I could just feel the positive energy in the room. It was absolutely infectious. It just totally sucked me in, and I have not looked back. And it's been almost 2 years, and I'm still going, and I'm happier than ever with Mission 35 and the team. It's just fabulous.
Right. It's just a different vibe in this company. And the team ups we have like Remax and Desjardins and some of the other companies out there, they just fit. You watch Brian and Conrad Zerini in the same room, and you swear once they get talking, they're going to start floating off the floor. Eventually, it's just the way they talk, it's just the vibe is fantastic, the culture is fantastic, and the training is second to none, and the academy and everything. It's just helped us reach where we've become. And I realized yesterday. I had a conversation with a friend of mine called, and I've been a friend with him for about 15 years, but he has another friend that we both have the same thing. He's a mortgage agent. His friend is our friend is another mortgage agent that has been in the industry probably 15, 20 years longer than I have. And he's known him another 15 or 20 years longer, but he called me for mortgage advice. Right. And I asked him when it was all said and done, he goes, "Thank you for the phone call." I said, "Dude, thanks for not calling Steve." Right. And he goes, Steve is, we play softball together, and Steve is Steve. Let's put it that way. Right. And Drew goes, how Steve is during softball. He treats his entire life like that. And I've had this conversation about a few different agents in the industry, and I've started to realize that it's not that rare that, I've had, a couple of deals now. And it's actually going to be my own deal, because I've realized that my own mortgage agent that did my house was like this, was not very up and up, right? And I'm wondering if you're starting to see this as well, that I'm an honest person. I believe in transparency. I will tell you everything I know straight up, right? If I can't do a deal, if I don't think the deal is there, I will tell you straight up, this won't work this way. I can do it this way, or I can't do it at all, right? Because there's no way to make it, it's going to come out. some way or
Yeah.
shape or form, whether legally FSMA finds it or OSSI finds it, or somebody's going to discover it and you're going to get in trouble, or your client's going to find it and they're never going to come back to you and they're going to pass on the work,
Mhm.
right? I'm wondering if, are you noticing that too?
Yeah, quite honestly, I think all the agents with Mission 35 are on the up and up, like Todd
Right.
said. But yeah, definitely I've met other agents over the past 2 years that, a good example, an agent that I met, that shall not be named, of course.
I'll never name
Yeah, of
names.
course, of course. Um, Lots of private mortgages and seem to be overcharging quite a bit, which again, we have some discretion, but for the most part, I think we're like really like on par with, in terms of not overcharging. And there is some flexibility. And yes, private mortgages can be a lot more work, but it was astronomical. It was almost 4 times.
I feel guilty charging
What-
1% on a private deal.
Yeah.
On a B deal sometimes.
Yeah, so I see that a lot. I also hear about lots of compliance issues,
Right?
which is astounding because yes, it's more paperwork for the most part, but it's just paperwork. You know what I mean? It takes time.
And
Um,
FSMA's all over us.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna get, like, we heard about, was it Forrest? Was just caught recently,
yes,
right? With a huge
yeah.
deal. And there was another one, just as I came in, it was even bigger. I can't remember, just as I became a mortgage agent, it was like, Sutton, I think. It was a big, like, it was an $8 billion deal, that, company that was, and they were all gone, done, right? Anyways, on to, more positive things. So you are getting closer, you're 2 years in, you're getting busy, right? Like I
It
said,
is.
every time I
It
talk
is.
to you, you're talking about a conversation you just had with a client, or a meeting you're taking with a real estate agent, or anything along those lines. Like, we're barely getting time to talk these days.
I know.
These conversations in person are rare. We talk on the phone almost every day, but
Yeah.
in-person meetings are getting harder.
Yeah, totally.
So where do you see yourself moving forward from this point in the next 6 to 12 months? How do you see your business growing in the next 6 to 12 months?
I see my business growing organically, lots of word of mouth. I've got a couple of events coming up. I was also just a part of a door knocking panel, so made some great new contacts there. I have tons of new realtor partner meetings lined up. So hopefully there will be, some good things that come out of that. Already made a few good new contacts with more leads coming in than anticipated, which was really nice and
Amazing.
unexpected. Yeah. So again, I think for me, I want to push myself to be sort of in the forefront, actually out meeting people so they can feel my, genuineness, my kindness, and the fact that, I really truly want to help people, whether it's buy a house or whether we're helping people with a bad debt situation, bad credit. It's not just about getting the mortgage done. We do a lot of, we'll say pro bono, I
Right?
suppose, work, because we do really want to help, and all of these little sort of acts of kindness, I think, are coming, tenfold. And the other thing that I'm seeing now is deals that I'm, closing now and finishing now. They're giving me direct referrals as well
Yeah.
for people that are, also actively like ready, looking for a home, looking to refinance, switch, whatever the need may be. So I'm gonna try and capitalize on the relationships to get more of that organic word of mouth growth, because I see a lot of opportunity potential there that I previously wasn't tapping.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and see how that goes and continue on with all the regular phone calls and, door knocking and whatnot.
Well, that's the thing.
That.
There's nothing like word of mouth. I mean, you can do all the phone calling you want.
Yeah.
There's nothing like word of mouth, especially when you are that honest and genuine person. Some of the conversations that I've had with people when a deal is done is like, you know, the work you've done for me, everything you've done, I mean, is unreal. I can't believe the stuff you've done for me and all this kind of stuff. I've given your name to 4 different people,
Yeah.
right? Those kind of conversations, and those, to be honest, when you hear those conversations, it just makes your day,
Oh, it's the best
right?
feeling ever. Like really.
Like,
You
honestly,
know.
I just finished a deal. It was $410,000 mortgage,
Yeah.
right? Not the biggest thing in the world,
Yeah.
but to have it done and then say, And I've been working with these people since July, and it's gonna
Yeah.
get done in July,
Yeah.
right? And it's literally, and I got this at an open house that I worked for. It was one of my first open houses, right? And it was, um, I can't believe all the work you did for us
Yeah.
through this whole time, right? And, so don't undersell yourself. Some of the smaller things that seem like, why would I still do that work? It doesn't do anything. Door knocking. I got a deal door knocking. It was my third deal, right? First time ever door knocking. I got 3, 4 of my deals from open houses. I still do open houses. I've done 12, 13 open houses now. I'm going to do one this weekend in Jordan. Don't undersell. Find what makes you unique and makes you a little bit different. She knows my baking.
Oh, yeah. The baking helps.
Find what makes you memorable to the people out there that you want a relationship with.
Yeah.
Right. And that, whether it's marketing, whether it's baking, whether it's conversation, anything along those lines that makes you stand out amongst the crowd, because that will make a difference. And that's what's helped make our business grow.
Yeah, I think the commonality between sort of what we're saying is acts of service.
Right.
Without expecting anything back, which I'm sure some people might think that's odd. And some you might have to wrap your head around it a little bit, but it's genuinely who we are. We do truly want to help you, even if there's no gain for us in the end. It just feels so damn good, and there's not really
Right.
much that can top that.
Even if all I'm doing is pointing you in the right direction on how to get to where you want to be in a year. Right? If I point you to the right financial planner so you can save the money up to buy your first house in a year, and that leads you back to me, fine, great. Or it leads you to a bank, so be it.
Yep.
Right? But if it leads you in the right direction to where you want to be, I'm happy to do it. But I mean, and other stuff. I mean, I'm doing a food drive right now. I'm going to pick up the bags tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Second time in a year. It's so much fun. I love doing the thrill of doing that kind of stuff, of giving back. It's always been a part of my life. And it will always will be. So I want to thank Renata for coming out for this. It's been fantastic.
Thanks for-
Now, this is the first time I've done this kind of format, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Anytime. I'll come back anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Renata. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Woo! It's go, 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 go time.